Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dear Hallmark. My name is Dara, and we are about to talk about some Hallmark Channel stuff. But I'm not going to be doing it by myself. I have our favorite sister, best friend in all of our favorite Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies, which is what we're going to talk about. You guys, please welcome Latonya Williams. How are you, ma'am?
I am very well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. It really is a pleasure. So, I want to start off with a fun question. What's a song that you have on repeat right now?
Oh, girl, I've got the most eclectic music choice. A song that I have on repeat. I listen to a lot of Snow Allegra, right? I've been listening to a lot of Snow Allegra right
Oh,
now. Yeah, just really like chill vibes.
yeah.
My writing and like have some like ethereal music happening in the background. So Snow Allegra, so Sabrina Claudio. Yeah, we've been on that vibe right now. Right.
Yes.
That can change very quickly. I also really like bass and dubstep
Yes.
and
I love it. Yes.
like I go all across the map. So I like different new songs. So it's not
Yes.
yeah, we don't keep them on repeat too much.
Yes. I'm much of a moody, atmospheric music listener myself. So I'll go between Spotify has this playlist called Classical Garden, which like transports me into some European garden somewhere. So I'll either I'll either do that, but also for the vibes, I've been listening to this guy named Jordan Rakai. He's I think he's from New Zealand, but lives in England. But he's
Mhm.
very much like a fusion of jazz, R&B, soul, and with
Yeah.
a little bit of funk. And I've had him on repeat for I don't know how long, years. Like he's one of my favorite
You ever heard
favorite.
of the Blaze? The
No, I
Blaze.
haven't. Mm-mm.
I feel like maybe that's sort of something about what you were describing there, just with the ethereal and out there kind of
Yeah. You said
like
The Blaze?
the Blaze.
I'll
Yeah.
have to look them up. Thanks for that recommendation. See, this is why I asked this question for stuff just like that. That's really
I think
cool.
they're French. I think they're French. Yeah.
Ooh.
They're,
Oh, that's
they speak
awesome.
in English, but I think they're from France. I'm not sure though. I think it's Europe
That's
somewhere.
awesome.
Check them out.
So I looked on your Instagram and there was this one picture that you put up with it was the caption that got me though. And you told a little bit about yourself. And while people can look at that Instagram photo and read the caption, of course, I want you to talk to us about it. But I'm gonna read just a little bit from the caption so that people can get an idea of what we're working with here. So
Okay.
you said in high school, I was both a sports team captain and a top academic. Let's just stop right there. So you were a sports captain and you were at the top of your class as an academic. First, what sport did you play? And how was that balancing academics with being the captain of a sports team?
I played soccer, both in and out of school. I played soccer,
Oh wow.
basketball, which is hilarious because I'm 5 feet tall. Uh,
Oh my God.
but girl, I like to hustle. I was the
Yes.
ball, yeah. Soccer, basketball, and volleyball. Um, Soccer was probably my strongest sport, where I was the captain. I was actually also captain of the basketball team too by senior year.
Wow.
And volleyball, I played the libero, so that's the back row specialist because I'm quick on my feet and I could get to the ball, but you get me to that net and I'm shorter than the net, so
Right.
like the bottom of the net.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so it's just I guess it was just my sort of boisterous personality that kind of got me to that leadership position on those teams, and then for school, I was it was science that really had me intrigued. I got really into science by the time I was in senior year, and I actually got the top score in the province. And this is Canada. We have provinces instead of states.
Mhm.
So in the province, I got the highest score on the biology like exam. It's a provincial exam that every student has to do in high school, and that's actually what brought me to university was my academic scholarships. I was
So
like, yeah.
go into that a little bit because it was biology and also you majored in molecular biology and biochemistry and business administration. Can you talk about the, just talk about that a little bit.
Well, so I went in with the idea that I was going to go to med school. So that's
Mm,
what I decided, that's why I was gonna do the sciences. But then I realized I specifically wanted to be a dermatologist because growing up, I had really bad skin, like
mm.
really bad skin. So I just wanted to be a dermatologist so I could help other kids that had bad skin. And then I found out how long that was going to take. It's like 15 years of school. Like it's so long. It was your undergrad and then med school and then specialist school. It's like it's such a long process. And then I realized that, you know what, there's got to be some other way I can help people. So I thought that picking up a business major would be more applicable to just like general life, because if you just kind of have a science degree, you know, that's kind of lining you up to be like maybe a lab tech, and
Mm.
you know, and that's wasn't really my exactly what I wanted to do. And so yeah, I picked up the business major just to round things out, get a little bit more skills, and then sure enough, I used neither of them.
As most people. As most people. Was sciences always something you were intrigued by as a kid, or was there a specific point in time where you realized, oh, I love learning about this aspect of the sciences or of the world?
It was in like senior year of high school where I started getting into specifically biology, because I really was intrigued by how the body works. And that's
Mm,
how it brought me to specifically molecular biology and biochemistry, because we got right down to the nitty gritty. Like
mhm.
I want to know how the cells work, you know, and just to break it right down, just to get an understanding of the world and my body and physicality. And that has, I mean, to this day I have no regrets, even though I didn't use the undergraduate degree, but it's great to have that kind of understanding. Yeah.
I believe you. I and I can relate. I I have a master's in interior architecture. Don't put up one beam, don't draw one stick of nothing. I haven't used this since I graduated. So I'm with you there for sure. For sure, for sure.
We'll be out here stealing our money.
Listen, this is like we giving it to him, just like here, take it. Just take it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but take
Take it. But
but how did your intrigue with science turn into the Latonya Williams that we see today, the actress? Can you talk to us about that journey and that process?
yeah, I can. Well, so obviously I went through that little bit of a metamorphosis midway through my undergraduate degree, and where I started doing the business side of things as well. And what I was going to do was do pharmaceutical sales,
Oh, wow.
because I was like, the science, the business, we put them together, we do pharmaceutical sales. And then I realized how unethical the pharmaceutical industry really is,
Mm, mhm.
which has kind of, which again, it's invaluable information and just experience, just to realize kind of how this world is working as far as like corporations and corporate greed. And again, it sort of veered me down another path altogether, because I that summer when I was about to graduate, I couldn't find a summer job, and I was interviewing with pharmaceutical companies, and that's when I was just like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like this
Mm,
is like me. I'm a natural girl. Like I am all about like, you know, go see your naturopath. Like
mhm,
if you got a problem, check out what you're eating, check your diet. Like that's the kind of realm I live in.
mhm.
So in that summer when I was veering away from the pharmaceutical side of things, I ended up on a movie set being an actress. I'm sorry, an extra. Because I couldn't find a summer job. So I started doing background work. And being on set is what really kind of ignited this old flame in me. Like I'd always wanted to be an actor when I was a kid.
Really?
When I was a kid, my parents would not let me. See, I have an Asian mama. I don't know if that like
Mm,
she wanted school is very important to her. And I mean
yeah.
my parents, they really wanted me to go to school, go through school. And you know what? I don't regret anything. Like I'm glad to have been the well-rounded person that I am today. And but yeah, so I ended up on a movie set and I don't know if have you ever done background work, extra work?
No. Mm-mm.
Well, sometimes. Sometimes they don't treat the background very well,
Mm,
right? And
mhm.
I just saw myself on that set and I'm looking at the principal actress and I was just like, I want to be that girl.
Mm.
And I'd always wanted to try it. So when I graduated, that's what I did.
So did you go like did you do acting school or was it more acting like getting an acting coach or taking acting classes? What did that process look like for you pursuing acting after you graduated?
So for me, I just got an agent.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, I have zero acting experience. This agent was willing to take me on her commercial roster. So oftentimes, if you have no experience, well, just I can't even speak for anybody else's situation, but in my experience, if you don't have experience, people will let you onto their commercial roster because sometimes you don't need as much experience to start auditioning for commercials. And I believe that the best way to learn how to do something is to do it.
Just do it.
I started like doing commercial auditions, and meanwhile, I got into some scene study classes and workshops, and I was sort of learning as I went, and it happened really quickly for me. My first job I ever booked was Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh
Yeah, and that was in a few months of getting my agent. And
wow.
yeah, and then I was on the big screen. I got to go with my family and watch myself on the big screen. So that was a really cool scenario. I don't think that's a very average scenario, but I'm
Hmm.
really lucky in that regard. So we kind of hit the ground running right off the top. I can't say it stayed there the whole time. It's not like yeah, I just sort of was learning as I went, and then uh, about 5 or so years into it, I ended up because I also had a serving job, so I was working all
Mm.
night. I was auditioning all day and going to classes all the time. So at one point, I did kind of burn out, and I stopped acting. And that was about so I stopped acting for about 3 years, and then
Wow.
yeah, and then when I came back, it was so much better because when I came back, it's because I had really chosen this for myself. Like I really wanted to do it. Like I missed it. I wasn't at first, like, I mean, before when I was really, really busy, I was kind of uh dreading sometimes going to
Mm.
all of these auditions because I'd get one and I was just getting tired. I was burnt out. So,
Hmm.
if you ever find that, as a word of advice for any other actors watching this, is just it's okay to take a break because when I came back, I signed with my new agent and I have booked so much work. It's been insane.
Listen, you've been out here collecting a check because when I tell you you've been, I've seen you in 3 movies this year already. I said the sis is working. She is working, and I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So during your 3-year hiatus,
Mhm.
did you do anything differently? Did you get any new perspective that you feel like helped you in your re-entry into the film industry?
Um, well, the hiatus was it kind of it's not that it gained perspective. I think the perspective was the thing that changed was that I was more acting before, like just because I that's what I did and that's the
Hmm.
kind of thing, the path that I had chosen. And it didn't really feel as like authentic to me until after I'd taken that break and came back to it and realized that yes, this is what I want to do. This is where I can make the most difference. This is how I can help people. So when I came back to it, the difference was that like I was older, I was wiser,
Mhm.
I was just more focused for sure.
Yeah. What would you say is something that you love the most about acting now?
I love the communities that we get to develop. Like every time I go on set, I mean this isn't always the case, like but the sets that I've been lucky to find myself on, I've made a lot of really great friends. And you know, you get to talk with new and different people that like stretch your understanding of the world, and you're even, and then you get to talk about yourself and maybe discover new things about yourself with all of these new different people. And um yeah, it's I forget what your original question was.
Just what you love about acting.
Where am I going with this? I
Just what you love about acting. Like, what is it you love that draws, that keeps you going and that keeps you going back to it every time? Because, you
yeah.
know, and speaking with some other actors, I know they've expressed like, because you don't know, like your next job could be your last job, but, or like, what is it you love that keeps you hustling, that keeps you auditioning, that keeps you wanting to go out there and be a part of these sets and be a part of these communities?
Right. I'll tell you what. I have an ulterior motive.
Uh, you've heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I'm very passionate about creating some real positive change in this world
Mm,
in a way that uh, we've never really seen. Like I feel like we really like in it overall in this world. There's a lot of um, like there's a lot of abuse and poverty
yeah,
and elitism, and I want to build a platform so that I can really influence the world for the better. And I work with a company, well, I'm an ambassador for a company called Techno Tutor, which is it's an educational software. And I just want to build a platform so I can get this software in the hands of as many people as possible so that we can equalize this world, because we can't all be equals if we have unequal levels of education. Like,
sure.
and if we can equalize this world, then we can find a solution where all life has value instead of
Yeah,
numbers and digits and greed and power. So
yeah.
that's kind of what keeps me going with
I
acting.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that. So, how did your acting journey find you into the roster, if you will, on this kind of like Hallmark Lifetime TV movie space? Talk to us a little bit about that.
That's true, right? I mean, Hallmark and Lifetime, they're really great with they're really good to their actors, right? Like
Yeah,
once you're on the roster, you're on the roster.
you're in the rotation. Like I said, we've seen you 3 or 4 times already out here. So
Yeah,
yes,
so
ma'am.
I've been incredibly blessed. I mean, I love working with these companies, these productions. I don't know I'll tell you the first role that I had that was a supporting. Maybe I did a great job, and that's where it's all started. But I was the Garage Sale Mystery, the Pandora's Box, before
Yeah.
one. I played a director. That was my first supporting role for them, and then it's just sort of kept it pushing. Like I don't know, there's something I think I my natural sort of like jovial loving energy kind of really suits the theme of the networks. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably what, like, you see me on set, I'm just uh laughing at everything. and
Love it.
And I don't know, just maybe I'm great to be around. Who knows? I don't know what it is, but like these people are like, I mean, I say these people, but like there's a really specific and amazing group of people behind Hallmark, and there's many of them, and I don't know. I like to build good relationships with people, so that's probably part of it, the behind the scenes.
Yes. So let's talk about this one trilogy you did, Merry Little Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's not little in the least bit because you've worked with Miss Kelly Rowland, who is the star of that trilogy. Can you talk to us about what that process was like, getting that role, and then what it was like working on that movie on the set? Because the one thing in watching this, I could tell how much of it seemed like you guys were really a family on screen, which I would assume that reflected behind the scenes as well.
Yes.
So could you talk a little bit about just that whole process of getting that role and what it was like on set during the filming of those three movies?
Of course, yeah. Okay. Well, let's start at the beginning. When I booked that role, I mean, like we've been saying, I've worked on a lot of these movies, right? So, and a lot of the stars are really awesome, really well, have a lot of they've been on a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, but when my agent tells me that my sister was gonna be Kelly Rowland, okay, this is me living my absolute childhood fantasy. Like, I mean, girl,
Yeah.
Destiny's Child, come on, like,
Yeah.
just it was a dream come true,
Yeah.
and I was just excited. And therefore I was also quite nervous, more so than I had
Mm-hmm.
before, which has been the kind of the transformation that I've noticed in myself through these years. What I've learned working with her is I mean, you just have to kind of rise to your own. You don't have to rise to the equation, because I don't want to make it sound like she makes it like a big deal that she's on set, because she's actually super down to earth and very, very
Mm-hmm.
caring. But like, you yourself, you're gonna make it a big deal getting onto that set, right? You're like, oh my goodness, I've got to impress Kelly Rowland.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
learning to get over those sort of nerves, and working with that program actually that I talked about before, Techno Tutor, I was able to look at these fears and sort of program myself to, well, like, acknowledge where they're coming from and then get over them. And so it's just been an amazing transformation that I've seen in myself between the beginning and the end, between my ability to just be confident and show up and feel like I deserve to be there. And I mean, it's not just Kelly Rowland, like Brisha Webb as well, my
Yeah.
sister, like Debbie Morgan, she plays her mom, she's
Yeah.
legendary. So I mean, there was a lot of legendary actresses on that set, and it was just amazing to be included in that lineup. And we really are family. We really have, like, for instance, Thomas and I, we tape together. Like, we do our audition tapes, we do them from home now that since COVID and stuff like that. So
Right.
Thomas and I, we were neighbors before we lived in buildings right beside each other.
Oh
And
wow.
like, literally, when we got the table read, I was like, yo, Thomas, like, we drove together, like. So like, Thomas and I go way back. Jamie and I as well. Like, we've just been in the industry in Vancouver. It's kind of a small space for actresses and actors of this caliber, But being Black in Vancouver, there's not as many people.
Sure.
So
Sure.
so yeah, Jamie and I go back as well. And Nathan Witte, I met him on this set. He came in second on the second movie. Yeah, he was on the second movie.
Yeah.
He's Brisha's love interest,
Yeah.
or Kiara's love interest. But Nathan, fantastic guy. Actually, yeah, he's working on a pilot that I'm going to be jumping on shortly here as well. So
Oh,
like,
that's
we
awesome.
are. I was talking to Sasha is Kelly's assistant, but like, her and I were speaking this morning. Like, we're
Oh,
all we're all really, really close. Also, Kelly invited us down to, after the last movie, to do the press with her. So
oh.
which was very, very sweet. Like, nobody, they just want to talk to Kelly. And Brisha. But like, no. So she brought us down. We did
I
a
love
whole
that.
we did a whole photo shoot. Like, it was an amazing experience.
I love that.
Mhm.
Now, we most recently, you were in Always Amore, but in terms of you being our best friend, we saw you in Second Chance at Love, which stars Alvina August, Gloria Rubin, Eric LaSalle. You had some heavy hitters on that set as well. What was that filming process like? And what was the energy on set like while working on that movie?
Well, that movie, because it's it was really fun as well. It's just different than Merry Little Christmas, just because we've been working together for so long now over the years.
Right.
Um, that one, me and Alvina really hit it off. Like,
Yeah.
we really got caught that best friend vibe with,
Yeah.
yeah, she's such a sweet girl. And I just love playing camp. Like, that girl's very true to, like, I think the original character that I imagined myself sort of playing, like, throughout my career. So I was glad to finally have that experience and just be that girl, you
Yeah.
know?
I was like, I need Cam in my life. I need Cam in my life.
Girl, I'm right here, baby. I'm right here.
Oh, I love it. And like I said, you stay with a check because you're coming out, at least in the States here, we are getting what's called Warming Up to You, but it already aired in Canada as Love in Action, which stars Cindy Busby and Christopher Russell. So can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect with that movie and your character, your role, the filming process? Give us all the details. I have my water right here. I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, well, girl, I'm the best friend. Yes, I am the best friend. This is going to be a little bit of a different film because it's
Mm.
not your average just storyline. So there's going to be, I don't know, how much can I say? What do I say? But it's really fun. Cindy Busby,
Mhm.
love that, love her, loved working with her. We've actually kept in touch. Um, she is playing a girl. She's like a fitness person.
Yeah.
She's training. What did they say in the I don't know what they said. Like, do they?
So, I think what we know so far, she's like a wellness instructor or something to that effect, and she's put in charge of getting Christopher Russell's character,
Okay, so we can say that. Yeah.
getting him back fit for a movie role, but then I guess his co-star comes and maybe there's some love triangulation that happens. I guess we're I don't I guess we're to assume that just because we did see I think one or two previews that they put out for us already. And so I'm assuming that okay, there may be a love triangle aspect here with the introduction of the co-star. I don't know. But that's just me, guessing. But
Or a suit. Yep. You're correct. Yes.
so
So
what was that process like yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say. So we filmed it where he had to get away to a resort to train, and I'm the owner of that resort.
Ah.
Yes. Yeah. So I am the boss. And just so you know. Yeah, you know what was so funny? While I was filming that shoot, um, I was simultaneously filming another movie for Hallmark,
Oh, wow.
um, The Picture of Christmas. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
called, yeah, The Picture of Christmas, which already came out a while back. But so because it's on two different sets, they don't have to do the normal like turnaround time, because normally like if you stop one day, you need like at least 8 hours or 12 hours or something before you start it up on the next day. But because it's two completely different sets, that didn't happen at all. So it actually worked out where I was on a night shoot on the it was called The Christmas Book, but now it's called The Picture of Christmas. So we had just finished a night shoot, meaning that I worked until 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I was supposed to be on set at 7 a.m. on. Yeah, that was a very quick turnaround, but they were able to push my scene back later on in the day. So I think one of them, love the very nice people at Hallmark, got me a hotel staying nearby, and I went and slept for like 3 hours, and I went directly to film the opening. Like, it'll be this scene in the green dress. So
Noted.
yeah,
Noted.
yeah.
So
Me and my new love interest met.
wait, so does that happen often where you find yourself like in between two movies like that? Like, was that kind of like a blue moon experience?
Oh yeah, that doesn't happen often. Like a lot of the times if you're filming something, they won't, unless they both really want you, they're not gonna make that work. But I guess
Mm.
they both really want
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're gonna make this work.
to make it work. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So looking ahead with your acting career, do you see yourself doing anything else besides acting within the film industry? Like, can you see yourself directing, writing, producing as you go further along in your career?
I could definitely see that. Yeah, for sure. Like I love to write.
Mm.
Right now I write more so from a not so much from a storytelling standpoint, more of a reality sort of standpoint. But I think I could sort of meld the two and then create a really cool project that I think could impact the world in a positive way. And therefore, yeah, I could definitely see myself writing.
What kind of things do you write? And how did you get it? Because I'm a writer as well. So now I'm curious, like, how did you get into writing? What led you to start writing, and what kind of things do you write?
Well, I want to, like I said, well, I think I started writing because I wanted to really be able to speak well. And
Mm.
the two really go hand in hand. Like, if you want to figure out just formulate a coherent sentence and figure out what you're really thinking about things, it's just the power in getting it onto paper is just unbelievable. So like once you just start to write or even type, I mean, I type, I don't write. Like my nails, like my nails.
Yep.
I stab myself when I write. So I'm typing, but like it's incredible the power that you can accumulate within yourself, like, and just get it onto paper, and just it helps with the way that you can speak and the way that you can articulate. And that's what started my writing, and that it led me to start speaking up on whatever topics I wanted to speak up on. And just, yeah,
I
that's
love
kind of where it
that.
started.
I love that. Well, Miss Latonya Williams, thank you so much. This has been such a pleasure talking with you. I know I can't wait to see you in Warming Up to You, which airs May 7th here in the States. But I want to have you have the last word in the sense of whatever you would like to say to the listeners or the watchers. This is your moment to have. You can say, I really like pizza. Like, you could just say whatever. Whatever you want to say in this moment, it's for you to have. Go.
Okay, well, y'all go out there, start writing, start good. Honey, I don't know. Let me think here. I didn't have a moment to decide. You know what? But this is it. If you want to develop yourself, you want to develop confidence, start to trust yourself, start to make some commitments to yourself, keep those commitments, and then practice. And if you make mistakes, that's part of the process.
I love it.
Have to
Thank
beforehand.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here. I'll put your Instagram information and all of that in the show notes and description box. And guys, she's Latonya, I'm Dara, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode.